Very good. Now, the fight was delayed because Fury tested positive for COVID. Are you concerned at all that something else might come up before October 9th?
I'm not at all. It's all in God's hands, man. And I can't control what they're doing on their side. I can't control whether it's a lie or if it's a truth. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't believe none of it. Nothing that they've done. Anybody that been trying to run since July, anybody that to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to not fight, you can't believe that person. They trying to run away from it, and I'm running to it. It's like, and when it's like that, you can't believe nothing, and honestly, I don't believe he had no COVID. Look at his actions. Look at what he's done, been at different places and stuff like that. He definitely don't act like it. And my only thing that's upset me is that there's so many people out here, even family members that actually had COVID and actually fucking passed away from this shit. And for somebody to play around with it, I don't take it light. There's no fun and game in that. And anybody that had a loved one that had it and had someone pass away from it, they don't take that lightly for somebody to play around with this and stuff like that. Because I truly don't believe he had it. And a lot of other people don't believe it as well. I get a lot of information.
What's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. So we just heard there from your mans, Deontay, Wilder. Oh man, well, my name Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, he lying, and he never had the COVID, yeah, and he lying, and he lie, he never had the COVID, yeah. So there, just played you man back the audio again from your man's Deontay Wilder, airing out Tyson Scary, aka Lieson Fury. Now listen, Lieson, I gotta give Deontay Wilder some credit here, because what a lot of you Tyson Fury fans have been down bad about over the last year is, the facts are, like Deontay Wilder said, as down bad as Deontay Wilder was when he got washed in 2020, the facts are, your man's, Lieson, paid hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to duck the fight. Yeah? That is inexcusable. I've never seen anything like it. Tell a lie. Who was that dude who Lennox Lewis had to take to court? That was, 30 years ago? In 30 years, this has been the most scariest thing I've ever seen. And the worst thing is about it, yeah? It's almost paradoxical, because at least the man who ducked Lennox, yeah, they hadn't fought yet. So the dude was super scary, obviously, about the unknown. But Fury actually had a win. It's mad, isn't it? How can you have a devastating win over someone and then your backside fall out regardless of that win? Which just goes to show Tyson Scary is mentally soft. Yeah, he ain't got the strong Barnett. He ain't got the strong. He can't hold his head. He loses his head. What we do know is your man Scary loses his head easily. Let's not forget that. Why are we trying to make out that, oh, well, why be a lying? He came back from this. He came back from that. What you mean to say is, never mind what he came back from. What did he run away from in the first place? Oops. He ran away from. You might have got a short memory. Yeah? Your man Scary, Tyson Scary, he ran away from Vlad. That's what caused this whole thing. You might have got very short and incomplete memories. Tyson Fury, for his whole career, talked about how hard he was. Yeah? All giving it all that he was, up until 2015. He beats Vlad, bores everyone to tears, barely beats Vlad. In my opinion, it was a draw, but whatever. He beats Vlad in a draw, yeah? Tyson Fury wins a draw over Vlad, and then guess what? All that talk, all that bass, disappeared. Yeah? And ever since then, he ain't been the same since. Because he knew how rock hard Vlad was for him. That's what sent Tyson Fury spiralling. He couldn't deal with the pressure of it. And all you goofies out there who were saying, oh, why be a lion? Why be a lion? It wasn't the fear of Vlad that sent Tyson Scary spiralling mentally. If it wasn't, why didn't he turn up? Oops. Yeah? If your man's Fury weren't super duper scary, why didn't he turn up and fight Vlad again? I'll tell you why he wouldn't. The reason your man Tyson Scary wouldn't turn up and fight Vlad again is exactly the same reason he's paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to try and duck Deontay Wilder. It's exactly the same situation, folks. And then to add insult to injury, not only does he duck Wilder in the courts, he then pulls out again. So we already know how many weeks. We're like 4 weeks out now from the alleged fight, and we're getting into what we call pull-out territory. Any day now, really. Normally, Scary likes to do it. Well, we're a bit early yet. It's 4 weeks out now, so it's going to be the red zone for me. Is two weeks out, I'd say. So we've got another 2 weeks of Fury gassing the place up. Because don't forget, I've got people telling me, YB, you're lying. No. Fury wants it. No. Have you not seen the press conference, YB? Oh, what? You mean like the last press conference back in July? When Fury was giving it the big one, talking about how he bust Deontay Wilder's eardrum, and he bust Malik Scott's eardrum. Yeah? Tyson Fury said he stays busting all of Deontay Wilder's team's eardrums. Yeah? That's what he said. Next thing you know, he missing. Next thing you know, he in the casino. Next thing you know, he in the car lot. Next thing you know, he testing positive, allegedly. Next thing you know, he negative within 2 days. Oops. Yeah? That's your man's. Your man's. Just think about it for a second. Just for a second. Let's say I'm right. Yeah, and he lied about the C-19. How down bad have you got to... How scared have you got to be to lie about these things? Yeah? Because to be honest with you, yeah, I don't believe the whole ticket sales thing. I've already kind of debunked that. What happened in July was just pure scariness. How can we prove that? Well, if it was about tickets, why would Tyson Fury be the only one willing to take the blame, if that makes sense? Tickets benefits both parties, Wilder and Fury. So why would Fury say, you know what, we're going to reschedule the fight because we ain't sold no tickets, so I'll take the brunt and I'll take it all on my shoulders? Who's going to do that? No one is. Which proves Deontay Wilder had nothing to do with it. He was rock hard for your man Fury. And what you'll notice is that every step it's been your man Scary, Tyson Lieson. Your man Lieson Tyson. Who for some reason can't finish off what he started. Yeah? Always finding a way to pull out and run off. And I think he knows something. He knows Deontay Wilder is rock hard for him. But you know what? Let me say something right now to you, Deontay Wilder. I have to admit, as far me and Deontay Wilder for a long time, the YB looked at Deontay Wilder as a big bottom. Yeah? In my mind, it was AJ at the top, Lieson Scary in the middle, and then Mr. Bottom was Deontay Wilder. That was until July 2021, when finally I had my last straw with Lieson Scary, and now Lieson Scary is the new bottom. Yeah, he the bottom. It's now AJ, Deontay, and Lieson. However, the fact I'm giving Deontay Wilder more credit, the fact I'm giving him more support, and I'll tell you, man, right now, actually, exclusively, I'm going to break the news to you, man, right now. Your man, the YB, is officially going to be putting money on Deontay Wilder, because I think the odds are like 3 or 4 to 1. That there's a decent bet. This for me is a 50-50 fight, really, because we know your man Lieson is scared to go in there, which is a big L. Equally, we know none of them have any chins, do we? We know Fury has no chin, and we know Wilder don't have much of a chin. Although, to be fair to Wilder, he's got more of a chin than Fury, because, yeah, Wilder got knocked down, but he never was on his back with his eyes in the back of his head, was he? What we know is Wilder put Fury on his back, flat on his back, smooth on his back twice. So, Fury's chinless, bottom line. Fury got no chin. So if Wilder has any skill whatsoever, this fight, like I said, is a 50-50 fight. Hence why the Wilder odds make sense. But anyway, again, it's all relative to what I'm saying here. We can all sit here and say, yeah, Fury lying. Yeah, Fury made up c-19. Yeah, Fury super duper scary. However, Wilder, the fact that YB, who is undoubtedly the number one boxing aficionado, yeah? When it comes to officiating boxing, there ain't no one the caliber of the YB. Not one. How do we know this? We know this because guess what? I've told you before. There ain't one goofy on this whole boxing commentary game. who will say anything to the YB. Who can do what? What, Cuck DeVille? Cuck DeVille from boxing, what's he going to do? He ain't going to do nothing. That's what he's not going to do, yeah? Who else you got? Blue Balls, what's he? Come on now, be serious. These are old dudes, yeah? And even, never mind old, even 20 years ago, they wouldn't do nothing. How about that, yeah? Old or young. I would have whooped the young out of them back then, 20 years ago, yeah? I'd have whooped 20 years into them, that makes sense. Yeah, you best believe. A 20-year-old Cuck DeVille, he'd have been feeling 50-year-old by the time I finished with him, no doubt. But anyway, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, your man in the YB, the #1 boxing aficionado. Yeah? I told Deontay Wilder, you've been upgraded. You are now the middle. As far as the boxing, what do you call it? Whatever it is. As far as the boxing ratings go, you are no longer Mr. Bottom. You've been upgraded to the middle. Yeah? But with that comes a level of responsibility. Because guess what? What you best not do right now is go in there and bottle it. Because if you do, you're going to be down bad. I swear down. If the YB puts money on Deontay Wilder and gives Wilder ratings, as I've been doing, relatively speaking, and he goes in there and his backside drops out and he forgets all the stuff he was talking, oh man, you know, I'm going, because Wilder for the last few months, yeah, he's been hinting that he's really mad. He's been hinting that, I'm going to kill someone. And I've got no problem with that. Because I'm super frustrated as well. But, like I said, you best remember that frustration. What you best not do is go in there and Fury starts licking you in the head and all of a sudden you shell up and just start standing there like the last time. Because I don't want to hear it. Let me tell you man right now. What's not going to happen? What's not going to happen is I ain't going to have none of you fruity Wilder fans. If Fury goes in there and clatters something off Wilder's head, yeah, and he starts shelling up and just standing there like a heavy bag with earmuffs on, what's not going to happen is have you, man, telling me, oh, man, well, you know, it was the drink and, you know, it was his glove. No, because what's his, I don't get that. No, one thing you, man, have never explained. What's his drink, what's his glove got to do with standing there? Why didn't he throw back? I don't get that. None of you, man, have explained it. He wasn't unconscious. He was standing there like a big stiff heavy bag. Why didn't he put his chin down and just start going for it? It's not like Wilder ain't used to doing that. Oops. He just stood there, which for me, I don't get it. He should have said, you know what? I'm down bad. Let me just dip my chin and give it a good go for a round or two. Knowing how chinless Fury is. Let's go 50-50 in this fight. But he didn't do that. All that talk about being the most feared and be anointed. Where was the anointedness? You weren't throwing no shots. You were just standing there getting teed off on. All I'm saying is you best not do that this time. Because you've been talking. You've been talking about how you're going to do this, you're going to do that. What you're not going to do is stand there like a heavy bag. Because being a heavy bag, and you ain't talked nothing about being a heavy bag. At not one point has Deontay Wilder said, oh man, you know, as soon as I get hit, I'm going to shell up and, you know, I'm going to stand in the corner and be a big old heavy bag. He ain't said that. He said, he been hinting that, yeah, you know, Fury ain't going to be getting up. I'm just telling you man right now. Don't be at me. Telling me, YOB, look at this glove. I don't want to see no glove. I'm telling you now what I don't want to see. Don't be at me. Don't be sending me videos saying, look at this, look at the glove, YB. Don't be sending me videos saying, look at the drink bottle, YB. I ain't interested. This one ain't got nothing to do with no drink bottle or no glove. Go in there and dip your chin. And bend your knees. That's what you must be doing in this fight. Don't want to hear it. Sick of hearing people, you know, all that kind of stuff. Not interested. You're going in there with a man with boobs hanging off his back. I don't care about no glove or no drink bottle. It's past that. You understand? Yeah? So Wilder, see, you're sitting there saying, well, Fury's scared and Fury spent 100 grand to duck me. Yeah, you're right. But assuming he gets in the ring with you, what are you going to do about it? Because what we know is, you ain't going to be able to expose no fear in Fury if you're standing there with earmuffs on. Do you understand? The only way you can expose fear is if you're throwing shots. Give him something to be fearful of. Because what we know is, ain't no one scared of a man standing there in a corner shelling up, feeling sorry for himself, and getting his eardrum bust. Yeah? So I'm just making it clear for everyone right now, so we all know where we stand, because we've heard all the talking now. We've heard allegedly how angry Wilder is. It's about time he followed through, because never once have we actually seen Wilder dig deep in a fight. Never once. Show me a fight where you've seen Wilder, yeah? I'm not being funny. People slag off AJ, and I think AJ hasn't been perfect at all times, but guess what? When he got put down against Vlad, he got stuck in, to be fair to him. He didn't just shut up and fall apart. Now, in the Ruiz fight, you can argue differently, but whatever. Fact of the matter is, when AJ was being trained properly, when AJ was in there with Tony Sims, AJ knew how to dig deep. Now, when Tony Sims left and it was Rob McCrappen, well, we can't comment on that, but AJ, with decent trainer, he knew what to do. He knew how to dig deep. When Rob McCrappen was dead, and it all went to pot, and he forgot how to fight. But whatever, yeah. The fact of the matter is, AJ got put down in a novice fight, and he come back swinging. That's how you win a fight these days. You have to swing back. It's no good to stand in it like a heavyweight. That ain't turning no one off, as Ruiz found out. If you just stand there, your man Wilder was in the same situation against a much lesser puncher. What we know is Tyson Fury is a much lesser puncher than Vlad. He's a much lesser puncher than Ruiz. But yet, Wilder got put down and there was no oomph. There was no throwback. There was no fight back. Where was all this big talk of being this, that? Where was all the big talk at? Where was it all? Oh man, you know I'm the most powerful in the division. Yeah. Where was that at? Where was it? That's one thing you might have never explained. Because you've explained about the glove, you've explained about the drink, but you didn't explain where all that was at. Where was it? Because what we know is the drink and the glove ain't got nothing to do with you standing there not throwing no shots. Oops. Yeah? So all I'm saying is, do not let that be the case. Do not let me see you standing there, just shelling up like a big muppet. I don't want to see it. No time for it. Because it's no good hinting that you're going to KILL someone, and then you're standing there like a heavyweight. Because what we know is you ain't KILL in no one if you ain't throwing no shots. What do you think? What, you think Zeus is going to throw some lightning bolt down for you? No, you have to throw your hands. So we're going to find out in this fight. I do believe we are going to find out in this fight what's what. We're going to find out if Deontay Wilder has any nuts. And we're going to find out if Fury's got any nuts to be fair. I do think we are going to find out both ways on this one. I do believe that. Because either Fury's going to get knocked out or Wilder's going to shut. Because I believe, yeah, genuinely, if Wilder goes in there and actually fights, actually shows some heart. Because what makes me laugh is, in 2021, yeah, people call heart just getting up. That's not heart. That's not heart. Heart is when you get up and you dig deep. Heart isn't just getting knocked down and getting back up and standing there. That's what you call bare basic fighting, in my opinion. The lines have been blurred. Getting hit and knocked down and getting up and standing there like a heavy bag, that's what you call basic fighting. That's basic fulfilling a contract. That's what you signed up to do. That's not magical. That's just bare bones minimum requirements. That's what you should be doing as a man. That's not heroic. Nothing heroic about that. That's what you should be doing. That's what you signed up for. It's a bit like an accountant doing the numbers. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You don't get praised for that. What you do get praised for. AJ gets praised for going in there with Vlad, getting knocked down, and digging deep to a win. That's praiseful. Wilder hasn't showed that yet. And the thing is with Wilder, yeah, he had a lot of talking. Oh, AJ quit. AJ this, AJ that. You ain't done what AJ's done yet. You haven't done that. You've never been in trouble and found a way to win. Oops. All you've done is roll over. And I'm supporting you for this fight. I want you to win. But I'm just making it crystal clear, so everyone's on the same path. Because what hasn't happened is, your mans, Wilder, haven't been honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. This is the truth you need to hear in going into that fight. It's not, you need to show the things you're talking about, not just stand there. You need to show it. Throw your hand. Your hands must be moving. If nothing else, your hands must be moving. If they ain't, you've lost. If you ain't, you've got no hope. Because the old saying is, if you jack once, it'll jack again. Well, we know Deontay Wilder's shown. He frees up. He throws, and he just stood there. No good. And that's why I guess he's down bad on the odds. Because, well, the fact of the matter is, under the lights, when you was in trouble, your tendency was to just freeze and get whooped some more. Your tendency was to transform into a heavy bag. Yeah, that's what you was. No doubt. All I'm saying is, do not let that be the case for this fight. You must fix up. No doubt.